welcome to Lonely Spooky Boy, which is my YouTube channel that I've decided to create today, right now. So today I'm talking about Innocent Witness. Very on topic, given the Cuties situation. I like to call this a reverse Cuties. So today I wanted to talk about the 2019 South Korean film Innocent Witness. Witness is about a young Korean schoolgirl, Ji-woo, who has Asperger's and is sole witness to a man's murder. The victim's housekeeper is the suspected murderer, and his defense attorney, Soon-ho, must get her to testify in court and give a valid statement. The film in itself isn't an issue. However, you can't say the same about the reviews. Despite the fact that the film shows no intent of pushing a romance between the minor and the 40-year-old man, the reviews are mainly of people showing their disappointment for the lack of romance between the pair. User IGACCB says this about the film. What is wrong with the director or writer not getting the girl and the lawyer together? That is a disappointing ending. Anyway, the plot is rather predictable, but still an enjoyable movie. Worth watching, I suppose. Almad Goldstein says, I saw this on the aeroplane last time. It is a very conventional and mainstream film. It was disappointing. Society has dictated that men and women who have an age difference cannot get together and be a couple. Therefore, no relationship occurs in this movie. Society has commanded that men without money should not have a wife or girlfriend. Therefore, the lawyer here is single. Society is... you get the picture. I'm a male with the usual likes and wants. So look at this film's poster. The girl's skirt is above her knees. Watch the film. It is always below the knee. See how conventional and boring this mainstream stuff is? Also, I'm not sure autistic people are so responsive. If they are, I learned something. There is a reason this film is only 3 out of 10. It is so predictable and does nothing to upset the apple cart. Chris O'Connell Payasist says, didn't turn out as advertised. Based on the preview, I was looking for the schoolgirl who is autistic to become a legitimate couple with the opposing side's lawyer. They are both lonely and lack in certain areas. They could complete each other as they snuggle, make love, and give each other refuge. The ending was disappointing. Brylon Christine says, can you believe this was marketed as an older man, younger woman relationship film? Where the girl is cute, thin, and leggy, and the man is lonely and involved with her professionally. Instead, it is a film about autism, disability, and a lawyer at a top firm who is poor. Bro SPR says, discrimination, sis. It is discriminatory that romance did not flourish. There was no lovemaking and no FM scenes. FM meaning freaky moment, apparently, which incredible. There was no lovemaking, no FM scenes. Any other film would have had those and probably ended up with a happy ending, but not here. Why? Because the girl has autism? Shame on the writer. As you can see, all the reviews are either complaining about the lack of romance between the couple or complaining about it being too mainstream. This is all quite unnerving, but people have been theorising that perhaps all these reviews are written by one obsessed person. The implication of these people writing these reviews and the subject of these reviews is quite malevolent and disturbing. The implication is that these people leaving reviews are blatantly paedophiles and are endorsing relationships between adult men and minor children. So I mentioned that perhaps all the reviewers are one person who is obsessing over the fact that there is a lack of intergenerational relationships in this movie. So the first thing that stands out to me with all these reviews is that they follow the same unusual pattern. All of the reviewers create the account, post a few reviews for various films, all on the exact same day that the account was created, and then the account gets abandoned. Another thing about all the reviewers is that they all have the same style of writing and use the same type of language. They have the same way of getting their point across and use similar talking points. Another thing to mention that I found interesting was two of the reviewers talk about seeing this film on an aeroplane. Given the obscurity of the film, in an international sense, I find it very hard to believe that two of the reviewers, which also happen to be in succession of one another, have watched this plane on an aeroplane. Had the exact same opinion that the film was too mainstream and clung on to modern morals and ethics in regards to adult-youth relationships, and also that they felt fiercely enough about it to post this review on IMDB. There also seems to be a fair few reviews that are upset that the film was marketed as being a romance and was advertised as featuring an intergenerational relationship with sexual tones. However, if you were to look at the film's marketing, I don't see why you would think that. Another reason to believe that these reviews are from the same person on multiple accounts is their reviews of other films. Most of the reviews seem to say the same thing across many reviews for other films, like not liking girls with short hair, and using an objectifying language regarding women, often talking about their legs, and most having fairly sexual undertones. Something else worth mentioning is that a few of the reviewers have reviewed films in common besides Innocent Witness. Normally I wouldn't say this is anything particularly crazy or particularly conspiracy theory-ish or leading on to conspiracy theories, especially when a lot of the films reviewed are relatively and sometimes extremely popular. But given the other points and the fact that all these accounts are saying the same thing and having the same opinions on the same film, I think it's reasonable to believe that this is another thing to show that the accounts are linked. Over a few of the accounts, many review Star Wars films and give similar opinions and similar ratings. They have the same opinions and thoughts of the same Star Wars film, Force Awakens, over multiple accounts. In regards to the Star Wars reviews, one thing to mention is that in one of them, the reviewers are very harsh in their attitudes to J.J. Abrams, who was the director. They heralded him as the worst director ever and says that his creation of Rise of Skywalker was the worst thing that not only he's ever done, but that has ever been done. Then on another review on a different account, when given a scathing review to 2017's Wonder Woman, the user states that the film was so bad, he thought it was made by J.J. Abrams. This goes to highlight the similarity between all the reviews between accounts and shows consistent and similar thought between them, and that they're regurgitating the same talking point. Another link between the accounts are the usernames. Again, typically on its own, I would say this doesn't really amount to much, but given the circumstances, I think it's fairly safe to say that there's a connection between the pattern of the usernames, in that a lot of the usernames follow the same format, in that it's first name hyphen surname. Now, not all the usernames are in this format, but a lot of them are, and the ones that aren't are usually follow their own pattern, which is a random stream of letters, just random, not really meaning much. I have no doubt that the accounts are linked and probably all made by the same one person. There's too much consistency, there's too many similarities, there's too much talking points that leap from account to account, and too many opinions that leap from account to account for it to just be a coincidence and have nothing to do with each other, especially given the specific nature. So I tried to look up the usernames to see if I could find anything, and considering most of the usernames are just first name hyphen surname, it's mostly just random stuff that comes up, random people's Facebooks, random people's Twitters. But when I googled IGACCB, I got linked to another website, which is one of those scam movie websites that just show you that advertise that they're going to show you a film for free, when really it just asks for your credit card details. One of those, and I looked on it, and there's a section where there's linked reviews from IMDB of the film that they're advertising. In this case, it was Wonder Woman, and there was a review by IGACCB linked from IMDB for Wonder Woman, which there was no review for Wonder Woman on that account on IMDb. However, it was linked on this website. This review has a lot of similar talking points, talks in the same way, and the review talks about mainly the entire review is about her attractiveness, and that she's the way she looks is the only redeeming feature of this film, and it talks about it in a vulgar way, and also comments on her legs, which is something that we see again and again and again throughout all the review, well, most of the reviewers. But if this review was linked on this website, but it wasn't there on their actual IMDb website, their actual IMDb profile, when viewing their profile, this probably means that it was deleted, and it was either deleted by the person that posted it, or possibly it was deleted by an IMDb admin of some kind that deletes spammy or reviews that go against their terms of service. I don't know whether there's people that do that and whether that happens, but I think it's probably quite likely, considering the words that the review used, and sort of the way they talk about things in it. So I think it's likely that it was probably removed by an admin. So, is it likely that all these reviewers are the same person? I would say yes. I genuinely believe that all these reviews are from the same person creating multiple accounts to leave these reviews. I don't think it's possible to really tell what their intent is, but it could potentially be a troll. The use of Goldstein makes it sound like it's a troll from 4chan or something, which is potentially likely, or even just somebody purposefully trying to make some kind of ARG, or trying to make something creepy, which to me seems relatively likely. But it could also be someone who is mentally ill or a deranged paedophile releasing their frustrations of a movie that they thought would have a lot more sexual content in regards to young girls and the relationship between young girls and grown men going into something inappropriate. And given the sexual nature of the reviews in other films, I would say this is likely, extremely likely and probable. So in my opinion, this is probably some deranged nonce, and the implications of someone who holds these beliefs and opinions is extremely unnerving and unsavory and creepy. So, there you have it. That's my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't too boring. I'm probably gonna find some, try and find some better more interesting topics to talk about. I couldn't really find any that wait decent enough for me to do, so I just sort of picked a random thing from Reddit and decided to make a video on that. But hopefully I'll try and find something a bit more interesting to talk about in future. But I don't know if anyone watches this. Let me know what you think. Is this completely benign and normal, and I'm just making a mountain out of a molehill, and there's not really anything particularly sinister? Or perhaps you agree with me that it's something weird and creepy. But either way, let me know what you think. Thank you for watching if you did watch. And I'll probably be releasing some new videos soon. The next video I'm going to make is probably going to be about Tara the Android, which is one of my favourite creepy internet things. So stick around for that if you want to. If anyone watches this, probably won't, but there you are. Thank you for watching, if you did. Goodbye.